Good morning, Year 2. Welcome to our science lesson for week 6. We have been looking at life 1,000 years ago, what homes were like then and now. We've looked at what the houses looked like in the previous lesson, and we looked at what the houses were and televisions, what television was like, what type of phones they used in those days, in the past, and what we use, comparing to what we use now. So today's lesson, we're going to look at items that we find in the house or that we use in the house, and we're going to compare it to what type of items it was used 1,000 years ago and what we use now. So homes now and then. If you look at this iron, was used to iron clothes many years ago. It's made out of metal, and because the metal is very hard, they were able to take out the creases from the clothes. Now, compared to what we're using now, can you see the difference? This was made out of metal. This is a more modern iron, and it's using electricity. That time they didn't have electricity. They used to use the heat from coals. They heat up coals, they put the iron on it, heat it up, and then they used to use that as an iron. But now what we use is an electric iron. So it's an electric iron which you plug it into the socket and it gets hot, and you hold it onto your clothes to make them flat. So this is what we use now. So the iron used then and the iron used now. Let's look at another item that is used then and now. So we have a kettle. A kettle was used then. It looks like this, out of metal. So this is a kettle that people who put it on top of the cooker and wait for the water to boil. They whistled when the water was hot. So this is what was used then. And if you look at our kettle that we use now, this is an electric kettle. You plug it into a socket and the water boils. When it is hot, the kettle switches itself off. So this is the difference between the kettle then and the kettle now. Then we have a warming pan. This is a warming pan. It is used to be warmed up and then placed inside your bed to warm it up before you get inside. That was what was used then. Now if you look at this picture, this is what we use now, a hot water bottle as it's called now. So this is a hot water bottle. They are made from plastic and material, and we put them in our beds to keep us warm. So can you see the difference? What it looked then and what it looks like now. It is more advanced. Our technology now is more advanced. Next item. Okay, we have, this is a mangle. It's called a mangle. People would put their wet clothes in and turn this handle here, and the mangle would squeeze out the water, squeeze the water out. So they used to wash their clothes using this. It's called a mangle. So that was then. And what we can use now is a washing machine or a tumble dryer. So you plug it in and you put your wet clothes inside, and the tumble dryer dries the clothes by itself. So you have two types. You have a washing machine and a drying machine. So washing machine will wash your clothes. So this is your washing machine. It washes your clothes. You plug it in and put your dirty clothes inside. The washing machine cleans your clothes itself. Then once it's done, finished washing, it gets put into a dryer, and that's when your clothes get dried in the dryer. And they used to use a mangle. So they used to put the wet clothes in there, turn the handle, and it would squeeze out all the water to help it get dry. So that was then and now. Can you see the big difference of what materials they were using then and what we use today? And we have another one here which is called This is a wash tub and a washboard. People would put their dirty clothes into the wash tub and rub them on the washboard to clean them. So they used to use this washboard and they wash it, they scrub the clothes, and that is how they wash it. So that would be your washing with your washing machine today. So that's your wash tub and your washing machine. So that's what it used to look like before, and we use a washing machine now. Then we have a Hoover. This is a Hoover. It is electric. You plug it in and push it along the floor. The dust is sucked up into a Hoover. In the olden days, they used to have this. It looks like this. That's what used to pick up all the dirt. So they used to pick up the dirt using that stick with the material or net. And today we all have fridges. This is a fridge where you plug it in and keeps the food and drinks cool, and they are electrical and work all by themselves. Now in those years, previous years, there was no such thing as a fridge, or they didn't have a fridge, and they couldn't keep anything cool. They used to either keep their water maybe cool in they used to have a mud or clay pot where they can put their water inside, which stays cool. And they would just be eating every day, getting fresh food every day and cooking, because there was no fridge to keep it like how we have now. And this is a modern day now pantry. Food is used to be kept in here. A cold piece of stone would keep things like butter and milk cold. So as I told you, we have a pantry to keep things cold. But in those years, they used to use something cool, a stone, or as I told you, a clay pot where they put things in to keep it cold. So these are all the items I've showed you in a house. What it was like then, many years ago, and compared to what we use now. There's a big difference. Now we use electricity. There was no electricity then. The things we use in our house are completely different to what we are more advanced now. We use a microwave now sometimes to heat food. People, though many years ago, used to use fire. They used to light up the fire and cook their food on the fire with wood. Heat up the light the wood and put the pots on the fire. They used to use a lot more clay pots. Now we use metal pots of steel and iron. And as I told you before, people had no fridges or to store their food or stoves to cook. They used to use, there are no lights as well. We have electricity. We are lucky now we have electricity. Many years ago there was no lights. So they used to use lanterns or where they light up the lantern with a gas light. Then light that up to give them light. Or fire was used as their source of light. So now we're going to look at this worksheet. I've shown you the pictures of what things looked like before and what compared to what we use today. So you're going to match up the different pictures from the past to what we use now. So then and now. So the chamber, we'll look at all the pictures. So you have a chamber, a kettle, a mangle. This was used to pick up dirt, oil lamp, and an iron. So you're going to compare it, match it to which item is used now. So an iron, what it looked like before, to what an iron looks like now, and you're going to match them, draw lines. So that's the worksheet you're going to complete for today. Hope you understood this lesson. Thank you for listening. Until our next lesson, goodbye.